at the 38th African Union Summit, where you talk about the fact that perhaps there should be another round of Africa reawakening. You talk about justice for Africans and people of African descent, repatriation, not just in financial terms, but there are 3 R's that you mentioned, restitution, rehabilitation, and guarantee of non-repetition. Can you elaborate on that for us?
Africa suffered 2 serious crimes against humanity. The first was the slave trade, and I believe that that was the greatest crime against humanity, where between 12 and 15 million Africans were taken from Africa to the Caribbean and the Americas and Europe. And their labor was used to build what today is modern Western civilization. This labor was unpaid labor. They were not remunerated for the work they did in the sugarcane fields, in building the railways, in building the roads, the bridges, and all that. We believe that first and foremost, it should be recognized as the greatest crime against humanity. And we must condemn the activity of slavery. Of the people who were shipped to what I call the New World, that's the Western world, estimated that as many as 2 million did not arrive at the destination because they were either too sick or they died on board and they were just tossed over into the ocean. That was genocide, And so it's an issue that the first step is for us to accept. And so Ghana wants to move a motion in the UN next year, asking the world to recognize the slave trade as the greatest crime against humanity. And so we'll continue to push. I'm the African champion on reparations. When I spoke even at the UN, I raised the issue of reparations. And so I do think that that is to do with slavery. With regards to colonialism, the Berlin Conference partitioned Africa, and the European nations took colonies in Africa, ran those colonies, exploited the natural resources, and transferred those natural resources, oil palm, gold, minerals, cocoa, and other products, to develop their countries. And it's only from the late 50s that countries like Ghana got independent. And so that was an injustice. Colonialism was an injustice against African countries.